Well, 58 million Americans have got gym memberships, but minor exercise mistakes might be getting in the way of your fitness goals. Here to show us the top fitness fails and how to avoid them is healthy living expert, TV host, and the CEO of Halevy Life, Jeff Halevy. Good to have you with us.
Good to be here.
So, you're doing something which is money back guarantee.
Crazy,
I've
right?
never heard of that. I've never heard of that in the gym world, right?
It's usually relegated to late night television, with these empty promises and at-home products. But we're actually doing the real thing where we assess all of our clients when they first start and then assess them 90 days later. And if they haven't gotten more fit, if they haven't got results, I'll write a check on the spot, give them their money back. But I haven't written a check yet.
Haven't had to write a check yet.
And don't plan on it either.
Obviously, the part of it is that they've got to follow the program, right?
Absolutely.
Stick to the program, work out correctly.
Correctly is a key word because when you do the right things, you get the right results.
Indeed. All right, so there's a lot of mistakes people make out there. We, I don't know, maybe we see something on TV, we try to go imitate it at the gym, but if we don't use our bodies correctly, not only are we going to be inefficient, but we're going to be prone to injury.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
And I'd say that the number one tip that I have to give, to your point, is protecting your back more so than anything else. How many Americans suffer from back pain? I mean, discectomies are now becoming like the #1 surgery that people have, and it's because they have poor form, not just on the gym floor, but when they move in general. Right. And rule number one for me in terms of cleaning up our form today is going to be round is risky. So round is risky very simply means that when you are bending forward, doing any type of bending pattern,
I'm going to do some sort of lift, right?
What you don't want to do is round the back. So what a lot of people hear, and you've probably heard this before, is you want to lift with the legs.
Yeah.
So they get low, and then the back rounds, and boom, a disc pops out and flies across the room.
Right,
well, that doesn't happen exactly, but it could happen.
It feels that way sometimes.
Yes, it could feel that way. So what we want to do is we actually want to make sure that the lower back is concave, all right?
Okay.
This protects your lumbar spine. So as you bend forward, even if you were to bend more, you're going to keep the back concave. And if we were performing a deadlift, like you had a bar in your arms, you'd simply stand up, keep the lower back arched, just like that. Now, if you want to do a bent over row, which is another very popular exercise, let's get back to that start position.
Okay.
And I'm going to have you pitch the hips back just a little bit. Okay. And now if you were to pull to your hip line, that's a perfect row.
Okay, and it's all about having this sort of flat, like tabletop of a back.
Exactly, that's what you want. You'd never want to let this round because it can really put the spine at risk.
You know what's funny is I noticed that when we get in that position, all of the pressure goes to the legs. I stop feeling like,
your hips. You're actually loading the hip joint, which is a huge joint. And when you load the hips, what you're really doing is you're putting a lot of the stress on a major joint.
Great.
Now, number two that I've got for you today.
Round is risky. Number two.
is always push from the heart. All right?
Okay.
I know it sounds like a Hallmark card, right?
No, it is. It's nice. Always push from the heart. But what is it? What do you mean?
Well, you know what? I'd like to think that we should all push from the heart, maybe a little more often too. But what push from the heart means is that when you see most guys doing a bench press, or gals for that matter, we get this terrible elbow flare, okay? The elbows pop out to about 90 degrees from the shoulder.
We're here. We're going like this,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And that puts a tremendous amount of stress on the shoulder, okay? What we want to do is actually lower that elbow down so that the armpit's at about 45 degrees. So if I had you doing a push-up, or I had you doing a bench press, we'd be setting up in this position. So if there were dumbbells in your hands, go ahead and press out.
Got it.
And pull it back in. So whether your hands are open doing a push-up, or you're doing, dumbbell bench press or a barbell bench press, just make sure that that shoulder angle is at 45 degrees or so. That way you get your lats involved, which protect the shoulder.
Don't get the chicken wings up here.
Chicken wings are terrible, especially if it drifts above the shoulder.
Yeah. So keep them down here, right in front of the heart.
Absolutely. I've got one more important one for you today, because this is a very common one, knee pain.
Yeah, knee pain, the problem with knee pain is that it keeps you out of the gym. As soon as you injure that knee, you stop working out.
If you can't stand or you can't bend your knees, it's going to be very hard to do just about anything.
Yeah.
So when it comes to knee pain, a lot of people suffer from it because when they squat or do other lower body exercises, the knees will buckle in.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to give you some really odd advice. Well, why don't we show how the knees can buckle in?
Okay, so a lot of people
do the squat and they cave in. Now, I'm going to give you a tip that sounds kind of like counterintuitive, but the best way to fix this is have a buddy or even just put a band around your legs where your knees get pulled inward. So now you're forced to push out as you descend into a squat, and it gives you a nice tactile cue.
Oh, for sure. Because when I feel the resistance there, I know to push against it and push out. What am I activating? Am I activating the outside of my leg when I do that, or the inside of my leg?
We're really talking about the hip. The muscles that are responsible for pushing the leg out, abduction. So you're talking about the glutes. So, for any of your female audience out there.
Firm up them glutes.
I know that women are all about the glutes, especially these days. And I can tell you that by doing that, you're also better activating those muscles too. So I think it's a nice little tweak that you can use in order to get a little more from your glutes and get out of pain in your knees.
One of the things that we hear is to not let our knee go over our toe when we're doing that. Is that true?
Well, when you're squatting, I'd say that it's probably important that you don't let the knee jut too far out.
Right.
Overall, though, that's a bit of a myth because I challenge you to go up a set of stairs without your knee passing your toe.
On.
But that's a whole other segment.
Yeah, indeed.